The following content is supported by victoris.org.
Okay, so the first exercise tells you to define your own list, I think. Yeah, by all means, you can have a GPA is for many subjects, right? So you can have each index meaning for each subject. Yeah. 4.
I want to put four, but then
Can go ahead.
how low can you get? 1.0.
I think you can get 0.8. For me, I got 0.8 before.
What?
Or is it 0.4? For literature, yeah. Literature.
No, it's what 20%.
Don't know lah. It was a CA. No, it was a small like summative. Then
Oh.
I misread the poem. I think like I misread the poem. I thought the lady was a cleaner or something. Then in the end, I got like 9/25. I think. I think the next one is 1.2. You people don't have experience at the bottom. Okay, so now I want you to append to this list some element. And now print the first element and the last element. Just to get you warmed up with the indexing and stuff.
Last one is what?
Okay, so remember how to compute the last one?
Len.
Round brackets. Length is a function, so you pass in the list into the function. Yeah, correct. Okay, try. Is the first element 1.2?
Oh.
No, right? It's index 0. Yeah, that's right. Okay, can? Yeah, if not, you're done, then you can move on to the next question. Okay, so let's say I want to go through every element of the list. Let's say I want to print it out to the screen. So what will I do? I print my list index 0, print my list index 1, right? And then my list index 2, and so on. And in this case, it goes up to 3. Okay, that works. But problem right now, what's the potential problems? If I delete one element from the list, and now I'm going to have an index out of bounds because 3 is out of the range, right? It only go up to 2. So I need to delete this line, and then it will work. I have another problem, which is if I put, let's say, a few more elements inside, then I need to write a few more lines, right? I need to copy paste a few more times, and generally programmers don't like to do that. They don't like to do menial tasks. So can you look at the structure, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks very nice, right? Remember when we had a for loop for I in range 6, print I. Remember we saw the I took on the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct? So this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what can I do to print all?
My list it.
Exactly. Put my list and then wrap it around. And now all this code can be gone. And now I can access all the elements of the list with just three lines of code. But still got problem, right? If let's say I add more elements to it. Okay, let's say I delete elements from it. Okay.
Oh, then that one should be changed to.
Yep. So what should it be?
Length
of my list. Yep, that's right. So you see now the reason why it was 0 index was because lists are 0 index. So the reason why I starts from 0, it ties in very nicely. Yeah, I starts counting from 0, right, to length of list minus 1. And then my list starts indexing from 0 to length of my list minus 1. So for loops and lists are like best friends. Yeah. So now whatever value however long my list is now, how I can change it in whatever way I can do, even my list.append. It doesn't matter because whenever I hit this line, right, it will recalculate the length of the list, and then over here the I would take on the appropriate values. Yeah, can? So yeah. So that's the power of for loops and lists. So now your turn. Let's give it a try. Yeah. Print. What do you wanna print?
The numbers.
The elements of the list. Right. So I is the indices. If you're unsure, you can always just print I first, and then you can iterate on that and edit it accordingly.
I is
So if you print I and you press run, you see that what are these? Right.
these are parallel to the number.
Yeah, you put it. So 0 is the index of the
Oh,
first element, right? Yeah. Good. Yep, that's right. Yeah, awesome. So that's it for Q2. And now whatever changes you make to the list, right? Lines 2 and 3 you don't need to touch. It automatically own time own target do for you. Yeah. That's it for Q1 and Q2. Let me just show you some things that we can do with list before we move on to the website. Okay, so later we'll be doing a to-do list website because
wow.
it's but it's a simple one lah. It's not very fancy. Okay, so just now I showed you what we can do with just for loops alone. We can calculate pi and we can do times table, right? With list you can actually calculate Fibonacci numbers really easily. So Fibonacci numbers, I just need to pass in the first two. I need to start off with let's say 1 and 1, right? The first two Fibonacci numbers are 1. Then how is it further defined? It's defined by that new number is the previous two add up, right? Fibonacci sequence is
Is that
yeah. So Fibonacci sequence is 1 1 2 3 5. Why is it so? It's because 1 and 1 add up become 2. 3 is 1 plus 2. 5 is 2. So the nth element is the n minus 1 plus the n minus 2. Okay? So what would it look like? So I want to do Fibo dot append. I want to do Fibo 0 plus Fibo 1, right? And then the next line, I want to do Fibo. Next line, I want to do Fibo 1 plus Fibo 2, correct? And so on. But that's not very nice lah. So I can actually change it to Fibo length of Fibo minus 1. That's the last element, correct? And what's the other one? The second last element.
minus 10?
Exactly. So it's a bit of a. It looks really horrible. But Fibo dot append, the first one over here is just the last element of the list. This one is the second last element.
But why do you need a Fibo dot append? You want to add that to the end?
Yeah, I want to add it to the end. So if I print a before and after, you see that it's 1 1 and then it's 2. 2 is the last two elements added up. It grows. Exactly. So now I can do how many Fibo numbers do I want to generate? I want to generate, let's say 10 numbers to be modest. Okay, if not, it's going to be very huge. 10 numbers. Okay, I forgot to print it out. 10 numbers, and now I've generated the first 12 Fibonacci numbers.
Print Fibo, then it will come out?
I print Fibo after the for loop. So the for loop appends it many times, right? Then at the end of it, I don't print inside the for loop. At the end of it, then I print Fibo. So every time I every time I append something to the Fibo list, I add something to the back. So I add something to the back 10 times. Then at the end of it, then I print. By all means, you can do this. You put indentation. Now the print Fibo is inside the for loop. Now I can see the Fibonacci numbers grow. Yeah. Okay. So just like that, right? Just with 3 lines of code, I've just calculated Fibo to any amount I want. That's the power of for loops. Yeah, and you can change this to. I think 100 is very huge. I think it might crash. Yeah, the numbers get very big. Yeah. What other applications are there? Okay, so what if, let's say, so remember the previous exercise, we had to sum up all the numbers from 1 to n, right? So we have s equals to 0, and then we have for I in range, let's say 10, s equals to s plus I, right? And then print s at the end, it will sum up 1 to 9. Okay, what if, let's say I have a list, let's say I call it digits equals to, and some inside here I have some digits let's say 9 3 1 2. What if I want to sum up all the elements in the list? I want 9 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2. I can iterate through the list. Right? And then now I write here s equals to s plus digits I. Digits I would be the value of digits I would take turns being. So I would change value as the for loop run many times. I would be 0 1 2 3, right? Then digits I would be digits of 0, digits of 1, digits of 2, digits of 3, which is digits I will be 9 3 1 2. And for each one of those values, I write s equals to s plus that value. And just like that, right?
Then wouldn't that double so quickly?
Wouldn't that what?
Wouldn't you have like a bunch of numbers?
So it'll sum up all the elements in the list. This code sums up all the elements in the list.
Yeah, how come?
Because
Oh.
yeah, make sense? Yeah, can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gets.
So there's more stuff you can do with it. For example, if I want to double all the elements in the list, right? I write digits I equals to digits I times 2. Then if I print digits before and after that, you see that before that is 9312, after that is 18624, because I have this part over here.
Okay.
Yeah, I can even do more stuff if I put conditionals inside. I can do a alternating sum, first one minus second one plus third one minus fourth one and so on.
Wow.
The applications are endless lah. But I didn't set these exercises because I feel it's not so meaningful, and it's quite hard sometimes also. Okay. Yeah, so let's move on to the end view exercises.